Well, welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining today from our engineer department, transportation and above, it's my friend Ross. What's your official title?
I'm the transportation engineer for the city.
I don't like that. I just like the transportation guy.
Yeah, that's fine too.
I'm going with that.
I'll tell them to put that on my paychecks now.
HR will be coming and visiting me again. It's all right. No, we are here today to talk about some upcoming meetings. Metro Transit has been discussing the BRT, or Bus Rapid Transit, and we have a line that potentially will be coming here to Fitchburg, and there's some public involvement meetings coming up here. The route is called Metro Rapid Route B for bus. Not know if it's B for bus. It's just B because A is already taken, so we got B. But Ross, just to start off things here, what are we talking about when we say BRT and Metro Transit?
So like you said, BRT stands for Bus Rapid Transit. Basically, this is an upgrade to our current regular bus service, and that will replace the current service. It will come to each stop every 15 minutes. The stops will be placed about half a mile apart. That's just kind of the general spacing. And there will be some upgrades to make that 15-minute cycle time actually keep on track. So there will be faster fare payment at each of the stations and on the actual buses. The stations are spaced out a little further, like I said, but they're bigger. They have more amenities. They'll be nicer to wait for the bus at. These buses will have traffic signal priority. So at some traffic signals, they'll come up to the light and they'll get a green light earlier than some of the other traffic, just to make it that much more convenient. And they'll also be on Fish Hatchery Road, they'll be center running instead of how the current buses are side running. So we're going to flip that current bus lane into the center lane, and all the stations will be along the median. So be more convenient as far as traffic goes and for people getting on and off the bus.
How the heck do you get off a bus on the median?
They'll have doors on both sides.
I have seen the bus. It's very neat to see, and there are projects that are out there that you can see this. We were talking about the one on Mineral Point Road. You can kind of get a good idea of what that median part looks like, especially from the Beltline up to the mall. Essentially, you can kind of see those center pieces there. We've got dates coming up for important dates coming up here where the public involvement meetings. There was a presentation at our transit not too long ago that you can go back and check out. That's Transit and Transportation Committee. But more importantly, we have some dates here where people can come listen to Metro here, ask questions, and get more information.
Yeah, so there will be a virtual public involvement meeting on April 22nd at 5:30 p.m. All the links and everything to get logged on to that Zoom call are on Metro Transit's website. And then there will be an in-person meeting in Fitchburg. That one will be on April 29th. That's also at 5:30. There's also a couple of other meetings in the city of Madison, but those will focus more on the parts of this line that are in Madison, and the Fitchburg meetings will focus more on the stuff that's in Fitchburg.
Gotcha. We kind of already talked a little bit about, you mentioned a little bit about the route, but what is the official route for our B route here in Fitchburg?
Yeah, so Route B it'll start on the north side of Madison, which is obviously far away from the city of Fitchburg. It'll come kind of around the lake and go through the isthmus, kind of mirroring what the current Route A does. And then it will come down Park Street, go over on Badger Road to hit Fish Hatchery Road, and then from there it will come down into the city of Fitchburg. And in Fitchburg, we'll have stops at Fish Hatchery Road and Greenway Cross, Post Road, High Ridge Trail, Cahill, Maine, and then at McKee and Triverton Pike. So at the end of the line there at McKee, the route will actually do a loop. There will be a bigger station where the buses will charge, because these buses will be completely electric. So the buses will stop there and charge and then continue on back north.
As far as benefits, you kind of mentioned a little bit about this too, a little backtracking here. But the idea here is it's quicker. It's easier to move. The timing, a big piece. And it's a bigger bus as well than compared to what we have today for our buses.
Yeah, exactly. So these will be accordion style buses. So like you see in bigger cities like Chicago have these a lot more than we do. And these buses will, they'll obviously carry more passengers, and that's kind of necessary with these further spaced stops, and it helps for more reliable service as well. If you don't have a full bus, then obviously the timing is better and you don't have to wait for the next one.
And you said there's a charging station. So you kind of mentioned the amenities at the stations. They look really nice. But tell us a little bit about the charging component of this, and just a little bit more about the stations.
Yeah, so like I said, these buses will be completely electric, and you might actually be able to see them running a little bit now. They're doing some testing, especially on the east-west BRT route in Madison. But basically there will be kind of like on a trolley system, on an electric streetcar trolley, where the arm just at the station will come down and charge the bus, and then they'll just run without any charging components on the rest of their route. But all the stations, they'll have basically they have bigger overhangs. They're kind of like a big pavilion. They'll have ticket stations where you can fill up your new fare card. It won't be the old kind of fare system that they currently have on the buses. So that's another aspect where paying for your ride will be a lot faster, so you won't have to wait in line getting on the bus while people fumble with change or whatever it may be. There will also be heaters that you can push a button and turn the heater on in the winter at the stop. And then all of the stops will also have snow melt function. So basically the concrete at the station will be heated. The other nice thing is these new stations are a lot more accessible for people in wheelchairs or people who can't get around as well. So the stations are raised up to the same level as the actual bus floor. So there's a ramp up at the station, and then basically the bus has a small ramp that comes out to cover that gap in between the station and the actual bus, and it's just a level crossing there. Wow. Exactly.
That's awesome. If people are just kind of like scratch their head, like why do we need this? What is the advantage? What would you tell people on that?
So I think everybody knows that the Madison and Fitchburg area is growing, and right now there's really not a good solution for transit kind of from the Fitchburg area into downtown. Obviously we have buses, but one complaint that I hear about them a lot is they take too long or they're not reliable. And this will help address a lot of those issues. The other thing is that Metro Transit looked at other options like a streetcar or light rail, something like that, and arrived at this bus rapid transit concept as something that helped save on costs and also provided basically the same level of service as something like a train.
Yeah, if you really think about it, if you think of the 15 minutes, every 15 minutes, plus these routes cross each other. So exactly. You're thinking we've got our route from the north, the north side of Madison all the way to us. But at some point, they're going to interject with another one going east-west. Mm-hmm. So you have an opportunity to jump in and, I suppose, get to places a little bit quicker.
Exactly.
And easier access. And then the rest of the routes will kind of be reinforcements to the overall is the way I understand it.
Exactly. So basically down here in Fitchburg, one thing that we kind of wanted to address with this project was getting bus service all the way to City Hall. And just based on the density and the ridership numbers, that's not something we really foresee being able to do right away. But we'll add on bus routes from that McKee area down to City Hall. So it'll be a lot easier to get from different parts of Fitchburg down to our civic campus, our library for voting and meetings and stuff like that. So that's something we're looking at. And then one thing I haven't mentioned yet that I just wanted to get out there, construction for this will start in 2026 and 2027, and then the service is scheduled to open in 2028.
We got a little bit of time.
Yeah, just a time frame.
if people have questions, I mean, right now they're trying to gather, Metro, and in the city of Fitchburg, we're trying to gather as much information for residents and answer as many questions as we can. So if people want to ask questions, learn more, or just participate in what's going on here, how can they get involved?
So there's a ton of information on MadisonBRT.com. That's Metro Transit's website. There's stuff about the east-west bus rapid transit and the north-south bus rapid transit, the one we're talking about. You can also look at the city of Fitchburg social media, or you can get in contact with me. My email, I think, will be on the screen here.
Look at you calling it out. Love it. Yeah, truly, the Madison or the Metro Transit website is a great resource for you. I was actually reading a lot of the frequently asked questions as we were going through here, and you've done a great job at covering those, but some other questions on there for people to check out. Again, one more time on the upcoming meetings here in Fitchburg. We got a virtual, that's virtual, but then we do have a specific Fitchburg meeting coming up.
Yep. Yeah, that virtual meeting, like I said, April 22nd at 5:30 p.m. And the Fitchburg meeting, that's on April 29th at 5:30 p.m.
So, all right. Well,
I'd like to see you guys there.
Yeah, absolutely. We will be there, and we'll record that and make sure we make that available for everybody to check out. And we'll have you back on the show here real soon, I'm sure, to talk other transportation projects. So appreciate your time.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks, Jeremy.